Good morning, world. There are tons of things that I love about Wizard 101, and there are tons of things that could make it better. Today, I want to go over 5 changes that I want to see it happen in Wizard 101 over the next year. I think these changes would make the game a better place, and I just wish they would happen. My tongue, I bit it yesterday, so if I talk weird, it's because my tongue is swollen because I was eating a burrito and I got nervous and I bit my tongue. Don't worry, it's still there, most of it. The first change I want to see is mount stitching. Mounts, you ride them, they have different speeds, 40%, 50%, whatever. They get you places faster. The problem is 3 of them about give you extra benefits. The shape unicorn, for example, what is it called? I don't know, but it's like a unicorn with you know what I'm talking about. It gives you 1 to accuracy. That is kind of, it's not too great, but still, the fact that it gives you that, and your bicycle, I'll show you, the bicycle that you want so badly to use doesn't give you that. Why can't I ride this bicycle? Why doesn't the bicycle give me that? Now, 1% accuracy doesn't sound like a big deal, but then comes the death vultures. Those give you, I think, plus 1% damage, which is enough to make a difference. I wish that you could just stitch, and I know it sounds very strange, stitching a live animal to, you know, they should do pet stitching too while they're at it. They're not real, so they won't feel anything. Next up are dialogue boxes. I want this to be like a Fallout, or you could say a Bethesda game, where you click on a guy, and instead of just saying more and done, maybe like 4 little boxes pop up and you get to click what you want to talk to someone about. And that way every person, see, watch, this guy doesn't have anything to say. But with dialogue boxes, they'll always have something to say, even if it's the same thing. Maybe as you progress through the game, they get more things to say. But with dialogue boxes, you can choose to either advance the story, ask about the specific NPC, like why he wears this hat, or you could just ask, what is this place? This Krakatopia? Like, you can get little hints about the place before you actually fight the bosses and stuff, because coming here, this place that floats, well, every place seems to float in the spiral, but this floats too, a lot. There's a lot of like random things that just float, and you could just talk to like this fox and be like, hey, why is that boat up there? And they could tell you how it runs, what kind of magic it uses, or if it's a machine. I don't know, I think that would be really cool, and that would make me more interested into everything. Yes, I know I'm still at Krakatopia, but look at this place. This place is ugly. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's probably the ugliest place in Wizard 101. I think we need a texture update to all the worlds besides Wizard City, because that's already getting updated. All the worlds up to Celestia, because they just look kind of bad. All the worlds at, let's see, past Celestia, past, what's it called, Zafaria, they look fine enough, they look good. But this could look so much better. Look how rough that land is. It's just so choppy in the floor. It's so gross and 2-dimensional. I mean, new players, when they start the game, they're gonna play Wizard City and be super happy. But then they get to the next world and it's all flat, and that's gonna turn off a lot of new players. So they need to update I think it puts more importance on updating the older worlds than to make new worlds. Like, they can make this water look really cool. It looks fine right now, I guess, with all these textures and effects. But everything else here just kind of looks ugly, and I think it'll turn off new players. Next up is Marleybone. Look how gorgeous this place looks. This world is a quarter of my favorite world in Wizard, and 75% of my least favorite world in Wizard 101. And the reason is, I'll show you right here. It looks all nice, and then you get here, and it's just city tops. Just rooftops and rooftops and rooftops. It's so boring, and it's so much of the same aesthetic. I don't know if they'd ever remake a world like from the basics, but if they ever did, this should be where they start. Instead of just being rooftops, they could just look at a game like Bloodborne, maybe? Of course, not have it be so mature, but at least have like cool city blocks that you can walk on instead of just rooftops and rooftops and rooftops and rooftops and rooftops and rooftops. I love the way this world looks, and that's why I came here to show you what I want next. See this little compass, west, north, east? You click on it and it shows you where every place is, which is very good for worlds like Marleybone, where you can get lost if you don't have these on. But I think they should replace this with a mini-map. A mini-map in the shape of a compass. So it's basically just this symbol that's glowing right now. Oh my god. Oh, I thought that was an enemy coming towards me. They should change this into just a little bit larger. Keep it a compass shape, but make it a mini-map inside instead of this little design. That way you can know exactly where you're going. It seems like kind of a very little and redundant thing to do. Like yeah, it'll look a little cooler, but it's kind of redundant until I think about the way you have to find certain enemies. And in order to find those enemies, you have to look up your map and it'll show a little dot of this guy running around. But instead of having that, they should just have a little mini map and have green dots of other players, yellow dots of friends, and red dots of the special enemies you have to find. That way you don't have to click map or anything like this. You can just have it down there. Now, this is what I've wanted for a long time, and this is the main reason why I wanted to make this video. Sorry for the tongue bit talking. We need more spells, I believe, and not spells for in-game. I don't want to have to wait till level 300 eventually to get the next cool spell. I think it would be so valuable to the Wizard 101 if they added 10 spells for every single world on top of what they have now. In this world, you'll probably come across the Dark Fairy, Ghoul, maybe, yeah, Banshee, maybe even Vampire. No, probably not Vampire. But I think they should have 10 more cards around that level range where you can pick like instead of having just these cards to put in your deck, it's so obvious. Maybe another card that only costs 1 pip, that instead of doing this, it's a health steal, or this, maybe it's a little bit more. I just want them to be very similar, but have more options, so you can basically min-max and choose the deck that best suits your play style. This game was released over 10 years ago, over a decade ago, and back when it came out, it was probably geared towards the younger audiences, but now that it's been out for so long, I have a feeling most of the people who still stick around in Wizard are a little bit of the OGs, a little bit older now, so I feel like they could make spells that use a lot more strategy to put in your deck instead of, because when I got to all the way up until Celestia, I was using the same exact cards pretty much. You never really had to think about what you were going to put in your deck because you had such few options, but I want so many options that every time I get to a new world, I can have fun strategizing a new deck. Alrighty, back home. So I didn't want this video to be too long. I wanted to start making shorter videos. Again, I'm sorry for the way I'm talking. It's just the way it has to be for now. Hopefully in like a day or two, the swelling will go down and it'll get better. Basically, I just wanted to put 5 changes that you could listen to, and hopefully King's Isle. I believe that the creators, I think they're very good developers. They, well, most of the time, I think they, the reason why I say this is because I think they watch people's videos, content creator videos, so as to see what people want in the game. And hopefully they'll see this and look at these 5 changes I want. And hopefully these 5 changes aren't too controversial. So yeah, I think I'd have a lot more fun in this game. I come back to it like, I'd say 2 months every year. I'll just come back to this game to see how they've changed it. And after this month, if I come back to this game, or when I come back to this game, if I see those changes, I'll be very, very pleased. So thank you for watching, and we'll meet again in the next contingency.